Hey YouTube, welcome back to my second video. That's your boy Anonymous, and thank you so much for joining me in this machine. We're gonna target Fawn this time. So after spawning our machine, we're gonna ping it, of course, to make sure that it still exists. And yes, it still exists, and we're gonna start by doing our sudo nmap scan. And I have already went with you guys through the flags and what each flag mean. However, I want to go through the time template flags and what does that mean for nmap, and what does that mean for our scan as well. So as we discussed before, nmap has 6 levels of time template. Goes from 0 to 5, from slowest to fastest, and the levels are titled as the following: paranoid, sneaky, polite, normal, aggressive, and finally insane. And you might be wondering, what does each level do to our nmap scan, and why is it affecting the time so much? And I'm just gonna tell you right now. The time template changes how nmap actually interact with our target. Slower time template forces nmap to wait a certain amount of time before sending another packet to the IP to discover another port. For example, let's say that we put the time template to T2, which is going to be polite. Less packets going back and forth between our machine and our target will raise much less suspicion. I mean, imagine yourself just driving normally on the streets, stopping at each traffic light, just driving exactly at the speed limit. No police will actually stop you or even notice you. However, just imagine yourself passing each red light, speeding 100k in each street that you're driving in. Even if you didn't hit anything, police and CCTVs will catch you eventually. So this is exactly the same scenario. The sneakier we are and the less traffic that we cause between our machine and the target, the less suspicion that we're gonna raise through IDS tools, which stands for intrusion detection systems. However, since this is a beginner friendly machine, we really don't care about IDS, and we assume that they don't exist on that machine. So we're just gonna do our scan like that, making time template aggressive, and we do our scan. And immediately we notice that port 21 is open. We'll see what port 21 is running. And here we go. Port 21 is open, as we said, and the surface is FTP. But what is FTP? FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. And FTP works by opening two connections between two devices that are trying to communicate with each other. And actually the same problem that Telnet has, FTP also has. That means the communication between these two devices through FTP is going through plain text and no encryption whatsoever. So this is a huge vulnerability as well. So FTP is a service or a server that is used in, and as you might have guessed already, is used for file transfer between the two devices. So that means we can connect to the FTP server and we can see some files there. Another interesting thing that we notice is that this line, FTP anonymous FTP login allowed. What does that mean though? That means that any user that has a connection with the FTP server can log into the FTP server using a username anonymous and providing no password whatsoever. And you might be wondering, why does this thing even exist? And the simple answer is for just simplicity. Users don't need to create accounts with passwords or usernames. Just any user can log in using the username anonymous with no password whatsoever. So to actually connect to that server, we use the command FTP, very convenient, and we provide the IP address. And as we discussed, we just provide the username anonymous. Even the A at the beginning really doesn't matter if it's capital or small, it will work either way. No password as well, and we have login successful on the FTP server. Now to list the files and folders in the server, we get the flag text, which is gonna maximize that. Again, do it again. Flag.text, and this is where our flag. In FTP server, we really cannot just read files. We need to first download it to our machine. So we use get and then the name of the file, and this would just make a copy from the server to our own machine. We get that and successfully downloaded and made a copy. We're just gonna exit, and since we are in the same directory, we're gonna list and we're gonna see the flag file. Of course, we're gonna read it like that, flag.text, and here is our flag. So that was pretty easy. We learned that two vulnerabilities exist: the use of FTP and the anonymous login was enabled on this server. So thank you so much for watching and reaching to this point. Was with you Anonymous. Thank you and see you in the next video. Goodbye.